Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So, just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Two things.
Yeah.
Then I got
wherever we decide to slip them in.
then the shit from the group.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So, just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Funny to Informing, number 113 on the podcast stream, and FTI Live 13, correct?
FTI Live 11.
Correct.
Yeah, we're two behind.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I even confirmed. You got these, right? Yeah, I got them.
Yep, right before.
I'm ultra confident.
Wow.
Hey, that's fine, man. Sell the confidence.
It's
admirable.
I've been drinking. I was drinking before we started.
That makes
too.
one of us.
So October is still on?
Going strong, if that's what you want to call it. Strong week.
Yeah.
One of those two.
I'm
going.
I'm John. That's Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman.
That's us.
And this week was something else. We actually worked together.
One
day.
That was one of my stories. Thanks for ruining what I brought.
We work together. We have somebody that we're calling another podcast, I believe, from New York, right?
Yeah, we're going to call some guys from,
that.
I believe they're from New York. Don't quote me on that. But do quote me on the name of their show, The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel.
Right.
It's been explained to me kind of as like think about how did this get made. If anybody is a fan of that show, I am a huge fan of that show. Listen to every one of them. So I like the premise. We'll find out a lot more when we talk to Doug and Jamie.
Yeah, they're going to be able to tell us more about it. And then
if you guys have questions,
right.
Tuned in live,
and we're going to get to comments if you guys have any, and then Digi hears, I guess, to wrap it up. And then we are streaming on Twitch and YouTube, YouTube.com. Oh, yeah, and Facebook. I always forget Facebook.
All three. It's fine.
I always...
it conglomerates them all. You can watch them from wherever.
Yeah. YouTube.com/Amplified Network and Twitch.tv/Amplified Network. All one word. Because I notice when I type it out sometimes, it'll separate Amplified and Network, so it'll be just Twitch.tv/Amplified.
Yeah, and it'll share a link for Twitch.tv/Amplified. I'm like, stop sending viewers there. All two of the people that were going to go to our link now went to that link. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake too. I can't be too mad.
Yeah. This week, I haven't even really been like home too much. We've been together a little bit here and there, but I feel like I've been like living out of my car this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, kind of.
It's been, for me, it's been a very slow creeping by week. Extremely depressing and terrible.
Yeah. Well, you noticed the one day when I changed, I had like super wrinkly pants and shirt on. I was just like all wrinkles.
Oh, yeah.
Because like it was clothes that were
because you had
balled
clothes
up.
in your trunk.
Yep.
Yeah, they smelled like it.
They were
better than work clothes.
Yeah,
because after working with you, I understand you can't wear those same clothes anymore.
I didn't.
Those clothes are done. Like you can't keep wearing them. You got to get somewhere, take them off, and put on other clothes. preferably shower in between the two. But
And then at that
at
point, you
least
don't-
change clothes.
Yeah, at that point, you don't even care what you're putting on. But yeah, it was all wrinkly and but so that's I've been like my clothes are in my car right now, and there's been like my old drinks and
I've lived that way for so long, man.
I swear. My
book bags,
equipment.
book bags, man.
Yep.
Living out of book bags.
book bags are the way to go.
We
I
have a
need to
friend
get my
called Bookbag Jimmy. I'm fucking right behind him.
I need backpack, Jimmy.
Back, yeah, Bookbag
Book
book
bag.
bag Jimmy, yeah, because he's back in school. Bookbag Jimmy, what books you got? He never has books. It's always like
Oh, man.
supplements and workout shit.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
beers.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. So
Bookbag Jimmy.
we
Shout out.
We got into like an interesting conversation earlier in the week about like a kind of like a hypothetical scenario, but
The one I
mean,
posted in the group.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, that came about on the job site with your boss Nathan from the Water Boys.
Right. Yeah.
Because I did a social experiment this week and went out on the job site with you guys for a day to
Yeah.
try to be a trench digger.
we
Digger with a D.
Well, because
digger with a D. Calm down, guys.
we never really worked together. You
No,
know?
no.
We worked together doing this.
I just had some time
but
off
not
from
like-
work, and I told Nathan, if you need help, let me know. I'll go, make a little bit of money while I have this unexpected time off from work. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Nathan was like, sure, let's go. So he took me out there Tuesday, and I got to live a day in the life of John Hannon.
Yeah, while we do work together doing this, we don't work together like on a 9 to 5 type of job. But
No.
it was fun. It was actually like
Yeah, it was
I
cool.
was laughing
man.
a lot.
I was
usual.
I was nervous. I was a little nervous at first because first day, new job or whatever. The new guy, the guy that doesn't know shit, the inexperienced dude. And I was like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not gonna fuck anything up that desperately for Nathan. So like, there's no
No.
pressure. Like, I'm just gonna go and do whatever the fuck they need me to do. I knew I'd be doing the most menial dumb shit ever because I don't have, you know what I mean? I don't know what any
Like
of this
all,
shit
like
is.
the-
Go to the truck and get a shovel. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
the grunt
Dig
work.
this hole. Okay, gotcha. I can do that shit. So I was like, man, it's not that stressful, and I just fucking let it go.
It wasn't
and
that
like
bad,
hung
right?
out in the sun and got my neck burnt.
That's
That
the
old
only thing
redneck
about-
style.
that's the only-
with
it's-
my friends in a yard. That's kind of what it was like all day.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's like just being outside is the worst part of it, but it's not even
Man,
like
and
that.
fuck doing that shit in July. You guys, admirable for you
Yeah,
guys.
that was rough.
I mean, I did it in October. It was bad enough. Like
my tan, like especially on the back of my neck.
I'm like, dude, I got out there immediately. I was like, how's John this white? How is he this white? And then I saw a party that your T-shirt covers up, and I was like, oh, because he's that white normally. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
tan for Hannon, tannin, hashtag tannin.
yeah. It was fun though. It was.
I don't want to
definitely one of my
derail things,
better
but
days.
I want to quickly get to
A buzz?
while it's still early. Yeah, our buzzed word for the week.
I forgot about that too.
I didn't.
Wow.
I got
Okay.
it taken care of, man. So we got to split the
Cool.
show prep when we get things done around here. So,
Cool.
John, divert your
Okay.
attention, and then Amp, our intrepid producer, is going to share. The word this week is water. The buzzed word is water. Take a drink, take a shot, take a whatever when you hear us say the buzzed word. Okay, John, you're back. Welcome back, John.
Yeah.
And he's back.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know what the word is, but we'll. Are you gonna tell me at the end of it so that I get to know?
We usually go through it. I think we didn't last week,
I think
but
because
that's fine.
that's because I did it, and I think I fucked that up.
Yeah, it's fine.
But-
We ran right through
well,
it.
And speaking of
It was
last
fine.
week,
Yes.
we wanted to talk about a few things from last week. We did Fritz on the Street, which we got a little bit of kickback for. Mostly
cool.
was good.
It was an awesome opportunity. It was cool for Sean Watson to reach out to us to do that segment. Because as a listener, that's like a favorite segment. Anybody that listens to that show, that's like their favorite thing to play every week. Wednesday at 2:00. Like, let's play this. It's fucking, I don't know. And they take it really like competitively, so it ups the competition, and it's super fun to listen to. I
Yeah.
love it. I love trivia anyway.
When we did that for the News Junkie 104.1 between 11 and 3 Monday through Friday, when we did that for them,
Good
it
feeling.
was yeah, right.
Hitting them all.
I didn't fuck up there. I didn't time my words at that as I'm about to, but when we did that for them, we got mostly good responses, and they definitely appreciated us doing that for them. But at the same time, like, people were kind of like taking dumps on my dings and buzzers.
On your editing job? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
my-
John was nice enough to edit the whole fucking thing down, as opposed to just like, again, as we do here, we'll knock down a little fourth wall for you, give you the behind the scenes. Normally we would just maybe send all the raw audio over to whoever, Sean and Fritz, who usually produces it, and they would produce it down and cut it up and use it how they wanted to and put it in any sound effects. John did all that legwork for Sean, She was nice
I
enough
just
to
cut
do
it
that.
together. It was
And people shit on it because it was a different bell and a different buzzer
I was
than they hear
rushing.
every week.
Yeah,
And he was
I
rushed.
I was rushing.
Yeah, we had
so-
like one day to get this shit done. In all honesty.
No, yeah, and then they were like as they were playing the game, C-Lane was kind of because Sean was the one that came up with the questions. So C-Lane was telling Sean, "Oh, what are these questions, man? Like, what these are so wordy."
His quote was "Wordy McWorderson," and it actually came up on the show yesterday because they played Fritz on the Street yesterday because Fritz was back from vacation, and they referenced the show the week prior.
Oh, boy.
And they were giving Sabrina shit for shitting on it, and then she was like, no, it was this guy, and C-Lane was like, hey, it was one. So I said one thing, wordy McWorderson. I was right. Your questions were way too long, and then I listened to Fritz's version of it, and Fritz was just like, there was really no prelude to the questions like Sean had given us. It was just boom, come right with the question, like very
in,
direct
in fairness,
line of
too,
trivia questions.
The questions were kind of hard last week.
Yeah, they were because Sean
difficult.
did them. Yeah, I feel like Fritz knows a nice median range to pull questions from, and Sean being rushed and not knowing and not having done it before, went with some harder political type shit in some cases. So
yeah,
they were more difficult and worded very oddly. But I did my damnedest, and I got ragged on too. It's fine.
Yeah, you were. What did they say? You read it like a.
I read it like I was like in elementary school reading in front of the class because Sean was very clear in his messaging. Get clear audio. It has to be clear because sometimes me and John will go to bars and send him audio from bars, and he hears like
and we're all shouty.
Yeah, well, we're shouting over music, and then you can clearly hear whatever song is playing in the background, and it gets stuck in his head. And he couldn't have that for radio, so he was very, very. I was straightforward about getting clear audio, so I was trying to read very loud and clearly because we were outside of a bar. Full disclosure, of course we were. Where else do you get a captive audience willing to record dumb shit?
Yeah, well, yeah,
at 10 o'clock at night in front of a bar.
Everybody was getting the answers wrong. Even the host, everybody was getting them wrong on the show and off the show who were playing the game. It was rough, but
yeah. So thanks for shitting on it, but
hey,
no,
it
people
was
appreciate it. I don't give a shit.
It was fun.
Yeah, no, I mean no offense. He didn't call you guys to get the audio. He called us for a reason because we got that shit done and we did a good job. Boom. So. That's the sound of me patting myself and John Hannon on the back.
Yeah. Did you speaking of last week also?
Oh God, yeah. There's
did you want
another
to tell
story
them
we
about
left
this
on
notebook?
the table.
This fucking notebook?
I have a title for it because it's such a saga. It's we're calling it The Notebook, an FTI story. Because it was such original. A thing, bro. It was such a thing.
It was now it's my notebook.
It's not as good as the original because the original everybody dies at the end.
was your notebook and now it's mine.
Yeah. Because I gave up on it because the story of the notebook is we're here to. I got that thing 3 weeks ago. I picked that new notebook up because we've been having all these new interviews and we've been doing a lot more recording here and there and we've been trying to get better about scheduling. So I needed something with a calendar so I could write down dates and times and whatever, obviously. So I went and I picked up this little notebook and I liked it. It did just fine. And I used it for a week. I think I had it all of a week, maybe.
If that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think I did. I think I got it on like a Thursday or some
like
shit.
5 or 6
and then
days,
I lost it on I got it. Yeah, I had it 4 fucking days anyway. and so we did. And I was writing my show notes in it, right? So I had all my show notes for the show 2 weeks ago, and I'd written them all out, and I was all professional, and everything was neat and tidy and organized like I like it to be, but it kind of gets out of my control at times. But so it was new and fresh, and I brought it over here, and we had a really good show, I remember, and we wrapped it up, and we left, and we go back to my place, and I've got like full hands. I've got my book bag with, my laptop and, just everything left over from the show.
So you unload all your shit.
And so I unload my shit, and I had a drink in my hand. So I went to my fridge, and I immediately put the drink in the fridge that I had in my hand, and I think I had one in my bag, and I unloaded that one and put it in there as well. And then John and I turned right around and went out to Hideaway, where we go do a lot of post-show shit and kind of work on the schedule and shit like that.
And then
over beers and shots, although I'm not drinking, so no excuse.
And by the next day, we can't find this shit.
What?
The notebook.
Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, long story short,
somewhere in between that.
Yeah. So the last thing I remember was putting on top of the car when I was getting out of the car to go in the house with a handful of shit to unload after recording.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, when I realized I can't find it, it was after we got back from Hideaway, and that's when I'm like, fuck, it's not here. So I'm like walking around my yard thinking maybe it fell off of the top of the car. Then I traced back fucking 5 blocks up the street. I walked 5 blocks up the street looking on the side of the road thinking, hoping it blew off the roof of the car and it's just going to be lying there in the gutter somewhere or in the middle of the street even, whatever. I Adri comes over late that night at like midnight. I fucking get up out of bed and I'm like, hey, do me a favor. I need to like drive. So we drove all the way back to Ollie's because initially we went to Ollie's and it was packed. And we left Ollie's and went to Hideaway. But I was like, it's not going to be on there past Ollie's. So we drove all the way back to Ollie's and retraced our steps back to Ollie's. And fucking drove around, brights on, nowhere. Could not be fucking found.
No, nobody would have picked it up either. Had you left it in the street, it would have still been there.
Exactly. If it was in the street, it would have been in the street.
And we asked Amp here, also known as Comment Reader lately.
Comment boy.
How that
Comment boy. It's if you were a superhero, he's your sidekick.
Yeah, so we asked him. We were like, oh, did we leave it in the studio?
Yep. And his comment was, nope, not here.
Nope.
And so it was nowhere to be found. I hated myself and I gave up on it. And I was like, fuck it. I got this new notebook. It had all of our scheduling in it. And I fucking lost it. Was shit out of luck. I go get this new, which I'm in the long run, I'm happier because this is a better notebook. It's just a little thicker, a little more shit to it. So I re-up my notebook. I get a better one. And fucking 4 days after that, I go and I put something in my freezer. And I don't really use my fridge at home. I put some drinks in there occasionally, but that's it. I don't really keep food at my house.
Actually,
I eat out a lot.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
I don't cook or anything like that.
Like I'm like a DoorDash or takeout.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So I don't, and I work in a restaurant and shit. So like, yeah, I don't have a lot of food. So I don't use my fridge, long story short. I put something in my freezer, which I never use, and then I go to pull it out of the freezer a couple hours later, and I just fucking look on top of the refrigerator, and there's this fucking gray notebook.
There's the notebook.
With our sticker, the notebook.
The notebook is there.
Yeah, it came back to me. It didn't die of cancer at the end.
You fucking idiot.
Unlike the movie. Spoiler alert. There it was. And I was immediately just really disgruntled with myself that it was there in my house on top of the fridge. When I unloaded everything, I threw it right on top of there and unloaded the shit into the fridge, then threw my book bag back on my back, and we went back out to Hideaway. And that was what I thought was the end of it.
And I was about to buy a notebook.
A week later. Yeah. And then John goes, well, can I have it?
Yep, then it's mine.
Yep. So, but it wound up being a good thing. Adri, thank you for driving me up and down the fucking street, looking for that thing. You
fucking idiot! I said that right.
Yeah, you did. I said it to myself several times.
Actually, it happens.
But the good thing is we got all of our notes, we got all of our scheduling, and we're caught back up into this one, and now we have 2 schedules, so we're good.
Yeah. All as well as
so we won't forget that we have to call people in like 10 minutes on the show.
Yeah, we'll work to that.
We'll get there.
As you were like kind of telling that story, it kind of made me think we don't like ever disagree on anything. I want to find something that like
really?
we can have like a debate about. You know what I mean? Or something.
Nah, we've got to have shit we disagree on.
I know, right? Because we have to. I'm trying to think
here we
right
go.
now.
Is Philadelphia a cool city?
Okay, all right.
Nope.
Not like that. Not like that. We set up like podiums and tried to find something that we like have 2 clear different views on, and then had like one of those like debates they have in high school. They're on the debate team.
It's debatable.
Yeah.
You said debate, right? When I was going to make a debate joke.
Are you disagreeing with me right now?
I am. I disagree. My platform is that John Hannon's a bitch.
You not get the fuck off there. What the? No. But kind of to go back a little bit when we were talking about our togetherness at work. That's a weird way.
Wow.
Sorry.
You remember? You mean just the time we were holding hands at work, or just all day?
Sorry. But like the conversation that was coming about, and I don't want to say really like too much about it, but we were hearing this story of a person who got disabled there was an accident.
So this is what made me bring it up in the group. In the group page, how did I word it, John?
Would you trade your mobility, independence, and self-reliance from birth till death for $60 million to take care of yourself and family for life?
Okay, so we were on this job site where we worked all day. So there was like a specific part of the job we were done with for the day mostly, and John and the other guy that works with us, Josh, were kind of over in this tight corner digging fucking holes, and there was really nothing me or Nathan could do to help them out. So Nathan's back along the water because this house is on a nice lake.
Oh, a huge lake. Yeah,
Nathan's back at the back fence line along the water looking across the lake at this big fucking big giant house. Like all the houses are fairly big. Like probably 3 2s or whatever,
okay.
But just sticking out like a sore thumb at the edge of them is like probably like a a 5-bedroom house, maybe 6, 7-bedroom house. This is a big fucking house on a big plot of land that's just the whole corner lot, and it's all the way up along the water.
Like
on this
the
lake.
Oversized kid in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's huge, and it's nice as hell, and it stands out in this nice neighborhood that's already a high dollar neighborhood. And so he's like, "Who do you think lives there?" And I'm like, "I don't know," thinking he was going to come at me with like Shaquille, or like some like some star or Carrot Top or some Orlando person that kind of that owns property here. So I'm thinking he's going to come at me with that, and he's like, so long story short, he says he does this whole background check on the address and looking at the deed of ownership and
deep searching.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Nate's a creeper, it turns out. And so it turns out that the guy that owns it is 22 years old. He's my daughter's age, 22, 23. I can't remember how old my kid is. She's one of those. And
young guy.
Yeah, he was
or
born
girl.
the same year. And apparently they got a $60 million. His family got a $60 million settlement the year after he was born, because they sued the hospital for negligence. Because now apparently this kid is a 22-year-old man, but when he was born, they caused deformities, which now he is not independent, and he has like at-home people that live with him and take care of him.
That's insane.
But they got a $60 million settlement out of the lawsuit for doing that to him at birth. The doctor that his OBGYN or whatever.
And you know what? I mean, that is like at least optimism in a really tough situation. But
so
I would not be able to do that.
So it immediately made me think like, okay, well, fuck. Because I asked Nathan that. I was like, man, that immediately made me think that. Wow. So he's taken care of for life. Look at his house. Look at his property. He can afford to have live-in people take care of him 24/7. He's probably never going to want for anything.
Which is the life anybody really wants.
Yes, but it's because of the situation that happened at his birth, which caused him to be handicapped. Obviously, he's pretty severely handicapped.
Yeah.
So my question, that's what made me pose that question. And I will say it was a lot of nopes. Like,
it was a lot,
I would not trade that. I would rather be broke or whatever.
People were asking if their like genitals or like they could
my
have
genitals
sex.
still work. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it was a girl
I
that said that. So is it still a hole?
Yeah, like there was actually like 2 or 3 different. It was like
real.
Kelly.
Kelly Perkins,
Kristen,
shout out. Yeah, Kristen. Yeah.
So it was like there was a few people that were like, well, do I still get to have sex? And it's a valid point, because I would be thinking about the same thing too. It's like that's tough to
I mean, I don't know the level of this guy's handicap.
But
you want to say deformity.
Yeah.
I don't, that's not right.
But I don't think like whether or not you can or can't have sex is the decision, like, or the factor.
I think they were kidding, at least half kidding.
Maybe, because I mean, it is a thinker though, because then that makes probably people change their no to a yes. If they get to still have sex, then they'll be like, then I can do it.
Okay.
I think that is the
nothing
deciding...
moves, but I can get fucked.
Yeah,
check.
It doesn't convince me.
Give
to
me
do
$60 million and put me in a hospital bed.
It is a tough.
Wow.
But there was only a few people that were just like,
CD is fucking hardcore.
Oh,
bro.
yeah,
he gives 0 fucks. He was like, "Yep, I'll do it.
Put me on Miami Beach and give me binoculars."
Yeah. Okay. I don't. What if your eyes don't work, CD?
Ooh.
Do we have a comment?
Yeah.
Comment, boy.
Talking about the injury you guys are talking about, Tyler Williams chimes in. He says, "I just broke my leg and this shit sucks. I live in NYC, so commuting is the worst part. I'm on this knee scooter shit, and if I had to live like this forever, I think I keep my mobility." His OBGYN with a lot of laughs.
Yeah. Because not her.
Right.
Yeah, his mom's
his
mom's delivery doctor. I was struggling for the word delivery.
But that's one of those things.
The fucking scooters, man. I said the scooters. They seem like fun though, man. Like if you're gonna fucking get an injury, that's the way to heal up is on a scoots. But in New York City, fuck, man, that the crowds, like, and it harkens back to the story I told about Mike and his wife Janie in the wheelchair at Pride, and he's pushing her through all that shit all
there's
day.
Just
and
so much going on.
If you were on one of them knee scoots, it'd be similar.
It's and it makes you think too, because there's people that actually go through these type of issues, but don't even have these $60 million options.
Yeah, no shit.
$60 million options.
Yeah, they just have that hospital bill after the fact.
See, and that's like so. If I mean people. humans are amazing in that way, where they find where there's a will, there's a way, I guess. But and some
Where
people,
there's $60 million, this big ass house
yeah,
on a
Yeah.
lake
And then a lot of people
in
were just like,
Orlando. I'll show it to you.
a lot of people were like, I can stabilize myself just fine without needing to change up my situation. I know
Yeah,
we got a
yeah.
few of those, so it was good. It was a really
It's cool. That was a good comment from Tyler, though.
So-
Tyler, thanks for joining in.
We have another.
Tyler said something else. This was early on in the show when it first started. He said, "I feel like John is his Bud Light beer and Guinness shirt if they were fuck and have a baby personified. It's glorious."
John is Bud Light and Guinness. You're right.
This
'Cause he
what
is-
comes out.
He is
when you-
Irish, but he's also white trash. So
oh man.
I love him. I love him. See, and again, we can't debate it because he doesn't disagree.
And then Josh Byer said that you guys should do another live paint podcast with him.
Oh, Josh Bauer. Yeah.
Bauer, sorry.
Yeah, Jay
That's
Bauer
fine.
art. I love that guy.
Jay Bows.
We're going to the Kitchen Killers on Monday.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we needed to tease that anyway.
7:05 is that?
7:05. It's their Monday wrap up. They do. I think we'll be like sitting kind of our style podcasty. That's how they've been doing it lately on Mondays.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, I've
before they
noticed.
were always in their kitchen, always, and they
Yeah, I
do a
think-
little music and whatever. I don't know if they're still doing that on Mondays, and they switch it up. So don't hold me to anything. But
Yeah, and-
Jen, you can fill us in if you're watching.
I'm kind of guessing here, but I want to say we had them on for episode 84. Was the first
Wow.
time we met
Good
them?
memory. It was a while back.
85.
Now.
I was
Wow,
one
close.
off.
Okay.
Oh,
I was.
man.
I would have said maybe 70s or 80s.
Yeah, I was 2 off to start the show.
Okay.
And then I was only 1 off guessing that.
You were better recalling an old show than you were knowing where we are now.
Holy crap.
Sad. But
It is-
yeah, we'll
it
be
is.
joining them Monday, 7:05.
Yeah.
You can follow them, Kitchen Killers, on pretty much all social media, but Facebook Live is where they share everything too.
Yeah, Kitchen
it's
and then Killers
Killers
is-
with a Z.
Yeah, KILLAZ. So and then it's going to be a good time. I
Those
haven't seen
are
them in
cool ass people. Yeah, I
haven't
like
seen them in
those
a while.
dudes. And it'll be fun to hang out with them and just like whatever, shoot the shit. We can do a wrap up of what we did and what they did over the week.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So we have a phone call to get to. Is that right?
yeah, we're gonna do that. Jesus, yeah, get that out of the way, you unprofessional bastard.
That one snuck up on me. I was
Did it
trying.
sneak on you? Is it
I was trying to
sneaky?
get the sentence out before it came up like fully,
All right,
and
let me,
it was like flaring my nostrils.
Let me pull up my
Okay.
numbers here.
We Oh yeah, so
We're calling
let's.
Doug and Jamie.
Doug and Jamie, they do a podcast called "The Good, the Bad, the Sequel." Did I get that right?
The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. Not
And-
the sequel.
and the sequel.
The sequel.
That's how you.
sequel.
It's a whole
It's like NyQuil, bitch. It's got a Q in there.
It's a whole hurricane situation.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into that, but I don't really know too much about their show. I know they talked to
Yep,
some.
we did zero prep work. Go ahead, tell the
They,
truth.
they talked to some notable guests and particularly actors that have done sequels to other movies, or Hollywood
Yeah, they
or whatever.
primarily do sequels, but they do talk to a lot of actors. I looked in their feed, and there is a lot of that.
Yeah, which I don't know how that
Which we
relates.
can get some tips from, because we've been doing the same lately. So
Exactly.
we're biting their style.
We're
Don't tell them, guys, when we call. Let's keep that to ourselves.
Yeah, we've been talking to a lot of great guests. Which, speaking of this weekend, we have a interview that we did with a guy. His name was Eric Morris. He was a great person to.
Oh
to
yeah,
talk
that was
to,
really
and-
cool. Out of Atlanta.
Yeah,
we
and-
had that connection going.
Yeah, so
him and I. Plus, he's the sexiest interview we've ever had. So
Yeah, oh, you should see a picture
you should
of
tune
this
in
guy.
just for us to share photos of that guy.
I'm telling. yeah.
Get your bean flickers ready.
Yeah, that'll be out this weekend, and then a few more down the line. So it's a very exciting time over here.
Yeah.
And there's other things that we're working on.
Dude,
and we
I
just,
mentioned our schedule. There it is. Look, I'll show you in this notebook. I showed you the last one that we lost.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
my new one, and it's filled out also. So we're going to call Doug in, I believe, New York. We're going to get clarification on that. But his name is definitely Doug.
And then we have
from
the
the good, the bad,
three-way
and the sequel.
to Jamie because
Are we?
I think Jamie's somewhere else. All
Okay,
right,
well,
see.
let's call
see.
Doug, and we'll go from there. And calling.
Go.
And ring-a-ling.
Hello?
Hey, is this Doug?
Yeah, this is Doug.
Hey, Doug, this is Chris Coleman from Funny to Informing. I'm here with my buddy John, and you are
what's
live
going on,
on
guys?
our episode number 111. How are you tonight?
Hey man, 113, you
Pretty
idiot.
good, man. How are you?
Oh, yeah, you're right. We
Hey,
both got him wrong.
How you doing, Doug? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah. So how you doing? Do we have to call Jamie for a three-way?
Yeah, I'm not with him.
That sounded inappropriate. Three-way. Okay, so we'll try to
Yeah, hang on 1 second, Doug, and we'll get Jamie on the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, we're gonna call Jamie right now.
Sweet.
Doo-doo. Okay, so we're on the line with Doug, and we're going to get Jamie because they're on two different phones. And they do a show, like we said, the good, the bad, and the sequel. And they're going to be telling us
find
what
out where
they do
they're
about.
at.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jamie? Hello? Oh man, are we having?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is this Jamie?
No, this is Doug.
Oh man.
Oh, you're back
Did
on
we-
with Doug. Uh oh.
Did we not?
Hang on, let's
You have to
merge
patch
him.
him through.
No,
Merge?
yeah, no.
Oh.
I was waiting to get Jamie on. It was ringing.
I don't
Jamie,
even-
you with us?
Yeah, I'm back now. What happened?
There we go.
Okay.
It just switched calls.
I don't know,
It
man.
went from
I
your
don't
call
know.
to Doug's call, and then I merged them. So now we're all here. It's a party.
Hey, we got it to work finally.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah. So we were talking a little bit before we got on the phone with you guys about what yous do. So Doug, you're in New York, correct?
I'm in Jersey, and Jamie's in New York.
Okay.
Close enough. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, how is it for you two to be doing long distance podcasting with each other? Is there ever a time that you guys get together?
Well, I mean, just to give you a quick history, we worked together probably about, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah. So we know each other from that. And we're not that far from each other. It's just a lot easier to use Zoom. With busy lives, I have a newborn. He's busy. So comes out great. The quality's great, and that's what's important.
Yeah. I mean, well, shit, because me and Coleman here have not known each other for half as long. It is that's pretty cool. We've only known each other for the past 3 years.
Yeah, pretty much as long as
Give
we've
or
done a
take.
show. We
Yeah.
got together on a business proposition, just to do podcasting, and then we've grown a friendship out of that. So it was kind of, we did it backwards.
So it's nice to know that you guys go way back. But what's the main premises what's the main premise of your show? Primarily with the good, the bad, and the sequel.
Yeah, so when me and Jamie started this, we're huge fans of How Did This Get Made? And we always talked about doing a movie podcast, but we wanted to be different, have a niche, because there's a million just movie review podcasts that are just a blank throw, vomit on the wall, the same exact thing. So we came up with covering just movie sequels, and then as a caveat to make it different, we said, hey, let's reach out to actors, writers, directors, producers that worked on that sequel, so we can get some insight, behind the scenes talk, and then cover the movie the next week.
That is.
I think when we started, again, it was a fun hobby that we were doing. I don't think we thought that we would get some of the people that we're getting now. And it just seems to be, we're getting some big names that are in a lot of these movies, and it's so cool. I mean, it's definitely an interesting, because like Doug said, you see a lot of these movie podcasting review movies, but not too many can get someone from the movies that they're interviewing.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the specificity of that you talk to somebody from the movie, then you do the movie. That's really cool. And you guys do have a really cool list of movies and names on your feed of shows here.
What would be your favorite show or sequel that you guys have talked to somebody who's been a part of it?
Well, there's been ones that are like a gentleman, for me, Tim Lawrence, who was a special effects guy in the 80s that worked on Howard the Duck, Ghostbusters 2,
That's awesome.
Caddyshack 2. He's done a lot of cool stuff. He had some great stories. So he was one of those people I didn't know what I was getting into.
Wow.
But for me personally, having the ability on a Sunday morning to talk to William Sadler was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, William Sadler, and then you did Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Another one that jumps out at me is Tiny Zeus Lister from Friday, and then obviously you guys covered Next Friday. That's really cool. Those really jump right out at me. And I like that you guys specifically do mostly sequels. That's really cool too, because a lot of times sequels can be way worse versions of the originals, and sometimes they're really good.
Well, and I think, and that's what it is. I think, we started off, I think going with a lot of the really bad ones. I mean, I think one of our first ones we did was Son of a Mask.
Oh my God. Might be the worst ever.
And it really is. So, although we did do a movie later on that had a lower score in Rotten Tomatoes. So, there's a few of them out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
look, I'm going back into your older stuff now, and you are not kidding. Home Alone 3. Oh my God, that was a bad one. What else?
Oh, man.
Meatballs 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I mean, these are all, they're
Meatballs 3
terrible, but they're
that was a
classically
great
terrible.
interview, too. That is Meatballs 3. It's on YouTube. If you guys ever have time, there's a guy in there called Mean Gene, George Abuza. He was such a cool interview. He was the voice of Beast on X-Men the animated series.
Oh, cool.
One of the coolest guys that I had the chance to talk to.
I love it. There was and let's be honest. Are there really? It's very rare for a sequel to be better than the original, and I can't even really think of. Some people say Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1.
Yeah, people do say
but
that.
like, is there hardly? I can't even think of another one outside of that where the sequel is actually better than the original.
Empire Strikes Back is
Yeah.
definitely better.
Star Wars.
Come on, John, you're a Star Wars nerd. You got to know this stuff.
Well, that's up to.
There's definitely sequels that are better. But I think, honestly, when you have the ones that aren't as good, they're more fun to discuss.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like that would
definitely
be
easier, yeah.
that'd make for a funnier show.
It sometimes takes that effect, like the movie The Room, where it's so bad it's kind of good.
Yeah, I just actually watched
yeah.
Disaster Artist last week. That was a great movie. Anyway, on the subject of movies, I had to get that out there.
Like some movies we never heard of before, like Roadhouse 2, but it's all about like the psyche of the sequel, because there's like the good sequels, like you mentioned, like Godfather 2, but then there's the really bad ones, like why did they make a Roadhouse 2? You know, X amount of years later. But it's fascinating to talk to people that worked on the movie to be able to find out some like behind the scenes stuff from it.
Yeah, how did you guys come about the idea in terms of getting into podcasting? How did you come up with the idea of like, let's talk to people who have been in sequels? Like, are you guys just like, what do they call them? Cinephiles? Like, are you guys just people who are just obsessed with movies and wanted something involved with that, or how?
Well, that sounded a little sexual, but no. No, it's just that we love movies and we wanted to talk about it. But I just wanted something unique. Like, I wanted somebody that checked out something that me and Jamie like created that was different, that made people want to come back. Because if it was just us talking about movies, not bashing anybody that might be listening that just has a straight movie podcast, it's probably amazing. But the behind the scenes thing is what sets us apart. And even in the beginning, like Jamie said before, we didn't think we were going to get people. We were at a point, I think it was like episode 7 or 8, like we were like almost going to be to the point we didn't have any more lined up. And now, currently, we have like 20 episodes in the can of just interviews that we didn't do the reviews yet. So it's
That's awesome. That's a great problem to have.
No, totally, man.
So of the two of you,
what also is cool is a lot of these movies we've seen a long time ago. So now it's giving us a reason to watch it again and just to see our point of view of how different the movie looks now than compared to when we were, sort of 10, 15 years ago.
Right. Kind of how do they hold up?
Poltergeist 2.
it's
we saw Poltergeist 2, and I remember watching that as a child, and it was scary and everything else. You watch it now, it's funny. It's not scary anymore. It's interesting to see it like that.
You get that nostalgia from it. It feels good.
Yeah.
Nicely put. Nostalgia. It's a region of Italy.
All right. Don't mind him, Doug and Jamie. He always
just
gotta
power through.
He
I
has to
always
make
talk
fun
shit.
of
It's
the way I
fine.
talk. Yeah. Okay.
He's from Philly. We give him a pass.
Between the two of you, who what are primarily would you say are each of your roles? And I'll put pressure on you, Doug. You go first.
Pressure-wise, well, I'm the one who I do the interviews. But Jamie has been, like, in the beginning, I was using, like, a service to be able to, like, interview agents and stuff. And that well was kind of getting a little dry. And then Jamie just went nuts on, like, social media platforms and was able to, like, messaging a lot of these people. And he was able to get some amazing people that I never, like Vanessa Angel, who was in Kingpin and Weird Science TV show.
Yeah.
That's going to be an upcoming episode. So that was, like, unreal to talk to her. So...
Yeah, I kind of became like an Instagram creeper, and just really, I mean, we find a sequel we want to do, and I look up every single person that has an Instagram, and a lot of people that were in these movies, they only have, to me, under 1 million followers. They're most likely going to answer. Someone that has, like, The Rock has 40 million followers. I've reached out to them multiple times. He's never going to read it.
Right.
But a lot of them are under 1 million, and they respond, and you'd be surprised how humble and excited they are to talk to us.
Yeah, you
Well,
know what?
it's funny that you guys interview a lot of actors, because John and I, that's something John and I have really just started more getting into.
Only recently, yeah.
Yeah, we've always kind of done interviews, and especially John, before I even came on the show, John was doing a lot of just like interviews of local talent, just different walks of life, and we've been more and more,
I think
kind of narrowing
I think that's
that.
our sequel, because when I started the show, it was like it really took off in the second version of it when
our sequel
when
is
Coleman
better.
joined me.
But
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
Our
the sequel
is
starring
better.
me is way better than the original with John. That's what he's getting at. Let me save him some words. But
Yeah.
so that's something we've gotten into a little more, and we were like, and I just wanted out something we wanted to kind of pick your brains about. Did you guys have any kind of background with this prior to, or was it new for you guys? Just like, let's just hit these guys up, as Jamie did through Instagram, and see who we can get to talk to, and then you just winged it from there.
I'll definitely take
Brendan.
my side. I mean, we have no background in this whatsoever, but I've been in sales for a long time. So maybe it's just a sales, tactic that, I'm able to talk to these people, and, again, you got to be kind of relentless, because they don't always check their Instagram. They're not always on there. So every once in a while, I'll send another message, and just reach out. It's the luck of the draw, because there's a lot of people that don't answer.
Yeah, you're fishing, and you're fishing for big fish.
And I feel like, you just got to find that right balance of not bothering them, but not being dead in the water either. Right. You got to keep sending them just enough stuff to get them on the hook.
Yeah. And I know we're going to be going on your show, I believe. We're going to be talking to you guys. What episode number is that for, like, the Good and Bad and Sequel, or you don't know yet?
Yeah, they have so many in the can, man.
Right.
I don't know exactly what it would be, to be honest.
That's fine. Well, we're gonna join you guys after our show here tonight. We're gonna give them a call, and we're gonna be on their show. And they've got 20 in the can, so who knows when we'll be out. But I'm sure they'll keep us posted, and we'll let you guys know. But your show sounds interesting enough for our listeners to just go check out on their own. Anybody interested in movies or specifically in sequels should definitely check it out.
When we were talking about it, like how it's made was one of the things that like came up when we were discussing.
I'm a huge fan. I listen to every episode.
And that's it was interesting that you had brought that up, because it was like spot on, like you nailed it on the head. So that's all the more reason to check them out if you enjoy something like that. But hey, Doug and Jamie, man,
this week is it's still like Halloween. We're doing like a bunch of horror movies. We just did Poltergeist 2, and today's episode we interviewed gentleman Ari Mihailov, who played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and that guy was in License to Drive. He was a tow truck driver in the Corey Milton vehicle, and man, he was a really interesting guy. He was a professional wrestler at one point. So yeah, definitely check him out.
Okay, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I see that one's already up right now. Your interview with R.A. Mihailov. How do you say it? Mihailov?
Mihailov?
Mihailov. There it is. Yep, that one's already posted. So anybody that tunes in, it follows you guys. What, on Apple Podcasts? You guys are on what, Spotify, Stitcher, probably all the outlets.
Yeah, where all can people find you if they wanted to?
At Sequels Only, yeah.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying all of our social media is Sequels Only.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. So the good, the bad, and the sequel on all your social media outlets and all your podcast catchers.
Yeah. Hey, Doug and Jamie, we can't thank you enough for coming on and talking to us for a little bit, and hopefully we keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be talking to you guys here in a little bit after our show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll talk to you later.
We'll talk to you guys in half an hour. Thanks for your time, guys.
Right in a little bit. Have a good one. Bye.
Later. We're all clear.
Yeah, it was. That
was cool. I just feel like Doug had kind of a rough connection. Cell phones, man. Phones, they're a fickle beast, bro.
Well, who knows?
A wise man once drunkenly said, phones are a fickle beast.
Yeah, well, the last one came out perfectly, so it might have been the same thing. It was just like how we
hear it versus how it's recorded. Yeah, hopefully it recorded much clearer than we heard it. But some those guys were super interesting, and I can't wait to have zero pressure and just go on their show. And just be a fucking ass like I am. No. Be an unchained ass. Not like an ass to them, but you know what I mean. Just be stupid. So that'll be fun.
Yourself is an ass. Yeah, there's a big old dick on your head.
Just be me. We're going to call them, and I'm just going to be me on that show. We'll see how that goes.
No, yeah, and there's been guests that we've talked to in the past too, where sometimes they're just like really bad with the phone. Not to say that that's what they did.
Way to put the onus on them.
No, but you.
Thanks.
I know you know what I'm talking about though. With some other of the interviews that we've had.
I mean, some people just don't have
like
a presence.
yeah, or like their dog's barking in the background or something. And it's like fuck,
kind
man.
of unprofessional shit is that?
All right.
Amp has a dog that barks occasionally, but it's so small you don't hear it. It's great.
Barks a lot.
I love
Does he? He barks a lot, but he's awesome. Little Tyrion Lannister. You can't fuck with him.
Yeah, we. So do we move along to the Digi?
Yeah, we can
Hears?
move on to Digi Hears. Did you do anything last week or over the weekend? We went to Casey's.
We did.
I had a Sunday fun day actually
crap,
during
we
the
did.
day, and I bought this shirt.
That is what is that? Like a skull with
It's like
spiders?
I think it's like a sugar skull style, but it's hand painted, bro.
It kind of
Some
looks
old
like
lady painted all these panels that are painted. She painted that shit,
wow.
bro.
It looks like a skull, like Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Dia de los Muertes.
Yeah,
Day of the
yeah.
Dead. But
very
yeah, they call
colorful.
those sugar skulls. Like, well, actually, specifically the ones that are like more feminine, I think. But I think they call these sugar skulls when they're all decorated like that. But I went to this market and I've recommended it before. It's been a pizza's pick of the past. Mills 50. Went to Will's. Will's did like this open air market on Sunday, and it was just like all local companies.
Will's Pub.
Yeah, Will's Pub.
They do okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know they
it's
did
called
that.
Will's Affair, and it's A-F-A-I-R-E, like fair.
Okay.
Like an affair, but also a fair where you go and buy shit or whatever.
Right.
It's kind of like a
Clever.
Okay, and I worded it like this, and Adri laughed at me, and I'm sure John will laugh at me now, but I got confirmation that I was correct in saying this. It was like a hipster flea market.
Yeah, you did call. Okay, yeah,
And everybody's like, oh, Chris always says hipster. That's the knock on me, is that my word is hipster. Like everybody has their keywords, and mine that I hit on all the time is hipster.
Everything,
And I say
everything
I
that's
might
a
say it
little
a lot,
younger.
but I'm just pointing out hipsters when I'm saying it. Like I'm just pointing out the obvious. So when we went with our friend Donna, and shout out to Donna. It was cool hanging with you that day, and thank you for backing me up. I said, how would you describe what you think this is going to be before we get there? And she was like like a flea market, but like for hipsters. And I was like, yes, hipster flea market.
Wow.
That's the vibe. And she was like, yeah, there'll definitely be hipsters there because hipsters hang out at Will's and Little Indies and that whole block. So
Yeah.
it was cool. And I picked up this really cool shirt from a local lady, and I saw Swan City.
Man, I can't even remember the last time I went to a flea market or something, because like everything is a little bit, or like a garage sale.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
love
I mean,
those,
it's yeah.
man.
Well, there's one coming up in November actually, and I if I remember, and I'm sure I will. I will get the info ahead of time, but it's called it's called Orlando Flea. It's like a hipster flea market downtown. They do it at Celine, which is 2 doors over from Casey's, and it's a 3-story.
right there.
It's a 3-story bar with a rooftop, and they do all 3 stories. So some of it's air conditioned. And I saw one of the tents there, and I wanted a shirt, but they didn't have it in my size. And they're like, "We'll be at Orlando Flea in November," and I was like, "I'll catch you guys there, and I'll pick up a shirt." And they were like, definitely come to that one. And they like leaned in, and they were like, air conditioning. And I was like, all right.
There's AC.
Yeah, they were like, that's the one to go to. And I was like, well, you tell me now that I'm at this one, you motherfuckers.
Dude, I mean, it gets thrifty over there, and I really like when you just find like the most random
Well,
things.
it's not so much thrifty because a lot of the
Everybody
stuff is
get
more
thrifty.
handmade stuff. It's not
Get thrifty.
getting swifty and thrifty in this bitch. Shout out Rick and Morty fans, who are also on a budget. Bless you, Common Boy.
Thank you.
And
we're
so yeah,
falling
it's not
apart
so
here.
thrifty. Like this T-shirt, I think actually it wasn't bad. A lot of T-shirts were like $20, and I was like, ooh, I mean, I'll pay $20
Why?
for a
What?
shirt.
No, it should never be that expensive.
T-shirts are $20, dude. But this one was like 10, and I was like, I'll take it. I didn't even try to haggle. I was like, oh, it's half price of every other T-shirt out here today, and it's the only one I see that I really like that fits me. I'll take it. They had some really cool like kind of them. Some of them were like Goodwill-ish. Like, dude, there was shirts from like fucking Orange County High School 1984. You know what I mean? Like old vintage ass fucking shirts. And I'm like, man, I would rock some of those.
Yeah,
but they were all
well.
like little high school boy size or like fucking middle school kid size.
And I'm a
and I was like,
grown
well,
man,
I
damn
can't.
it.
I'm a grown man. I can't rock it. I can't fit
Yeah.
it. So
You can't. Okay. Why don't we get to the Digi Hears?
Did you hear?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes, give or take.
yeah,
I
we
have a
started
few.
late, so we're okay.
I have a few. You have
As
a few?
we do, we start late.
We'll should we
Yeah,
bounce these?
I've got 2.
All right, yeah. Okay, so perfect. So I'll do at least the first 2 in a row, and then we'll start bouncing them back and forth.
Okey donkey.
Did you hear that an Essex truck? I guess that's like mainly a transportation company. They one of their trucks recently found 39 dead bodies inside the back of it, and they
Essex truck?
Essex.
Like a truck in Essex, or the company is Essex?
ESSEX. No, I think
Is that the location
okay,
or the
so
company?
it might be the location.
Okay.
Which is in the UK.
Yeah,
right?
Essex is in the UK.
And yeah, it might just be. Let me check for the company because it says.
Did they call it a lorry? Because that's what they call trucks. And an Essex lorry.
You would know with your dapper hat.
In an Essex lorry.
Yeah, if you're watching it on Twitch or YouTube, he's got his dapper hat on and he's ready to go with all the terminology.
Fanciful
bitches. But they arrested this 25-year-old man and a Northern Irish truck driver. They arrested a 25-year-old man, which kind of fits my demographic. I hope they're not looking for me.
You're looking for John.
Holy crap, he's like kind of my height and shit. Mo Robinson was arrested on suspicion of murder.
Oh, definitely.
But if you're
British.
a truck driver,
Mo Robinson.
If you're like
Essex lorry driver Mo Robinson was nicked by the bobbies on Thursday.
And then get this. Okay, so they were identified as Chinese nationals.
Okay.
What the fuck?
They were China folk. That's why he could fit so many.
So how does an Irish driver in the UK have Chinese nationals? Like how does this?
Man, I don't know, man.
We're getting a lot of.
He's probably some type of hipster.
We're getting.
Sounds like it to me. I see you in there, Adri. His favorite word is everyone is a hipster. You can't say that thing we went to on Sunday was not a hipster fucking flea market.
But you gotta admit it's one of your favorite words.
Maybe I just like to call it out.
You describe.
Maybe it's my version of racism.
I think
I can't say the N word anymore. I gotta say hipster.
I think we're finding something we disagree on slightly.
And while you're making fun of me, Sean Flynn says John's language, quote, the good, the bad, and the seagull, and nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
He laughs at it. I'm with you, Sean Flynn, double zero, whoever you are.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. That's terrible. That's terrible. Worst joke of the show.
Okay. Yeah. So they arrested this 25-year-old man, but I don't know. I'm not trying to say he did or didn't do it, but it's hard to like hold the driver responsible because sometimes they don't even look in the back of the trucks before they're transporting them.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of your responsibility is to secure your load.
I worked at actually a truck yard for a little while, and some of the drivers would just pick up the trailers. All they would do is
so you could have put 39 dead Chinamen in there?
They would hook their tractor
Chinamen,
up.
we can say that, right? That's not racist.
I think so.
My bad. Orientals? Oh, wait, no, you only call that to rugs? What do you call Chinamen rolled up in Oriental rugs?
It's not.
Can you call it, or did you call them Orientals, or just the rugs are Oriental? I don't know where the line is there.
Oh, no. Anyway.
Awkward.
All right, I'm kind of done with this story. There
okay,
was
moving on. Awkwardly racist.
It's obviously going to develop a little bit more later on. It was at an industrial park in Grace, Essex, so it was in the UK. But I don't know.
Sorry, UK.
I don't know if it was an Exis brand truck or not. But I doubt it. I don't want to put the company on blast either because they don't really need that.
Who knows what the deal is? We don't know what the details are. But how are you
exactly? They don't.
What state of decomposition are these Chinamen in, and where you don't smell them, like rotting away? 39 fucking people.
Right,
were they men, women, children? Did it specify?
No.
Any pictures we can share to the Facebook
no,
group?
they were still
free fucking animals.
Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those covered ones where you have to uncover the photo just to see what it is.
That's how I know the good ones. I'm like, ooh, it's covered. Something's good under here.
It's gonna be
click
juicy as fuck.
Here lately, they've been getting real weak with that though. I've noticed, dude. A couple times it's been like unclick to uncover. It's like some of the most fucking.
It's just some words.
And it's nothing.
Just be like
it's not even offensive.
Now. We're just saying words.
Yeah. Cover else because we're terrible. You should have to click to uncover this show.
Explicit content for a reason.
Yeah,
for sure.
But so they've been getting real wussified with some of that lately. It's been some real non-offensive anything.
Well, okay, and this was.
And I'm like, why did you cover it?
This was not in my Digi Hears, but did you hear that Mark Zuckerberg was getting grilled the other day?
No, what
by
for?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Jinx,
you owe me a senator.
I'll owe myself a Bud Light. Fuck you. She was grilling Zuckerberg on like how if somebody wants to run an ad and they want to have misinformation on that ad, whether or not it gets approved or like by Facebook or whether they will take it down.
So yeah,
and then
he's
like, well, the people would be lying, and I mean we're open to freedom of speech and this and that and the other, but if it's up to them because they want to live as liars, and then he's like,
and they have the right to lie essentially, which they do, and then she's saying they should fact check a little more.
Well, he wasn't saying one way or the other because she would ask him like these concrete like black and white questions, which sometimes it is a little bit more complicated than that. You can't just ask a black and white question and get a yes or no.
Yeah.
It's sometimes.
What about the Greys?
Yeah, sometimes there's
or the Chinamen.
Still going.
Rest in peace.
Is that the buzzword? Is
Times
that
39.
I feel
Oh
like
man,
that's
I
the
wish it
buzzword.
was. Man, I wish it was.
You're killing the game, sir. if
Damn,
it is.
damn.
No, but I was just thinking about that. That wasn't my next one, but that Mark Zuckerberg has been getting grilled
Okay.
lately again. But did you hear? So I'll do another one.
Moving on.
A hunter was gored by a deer and was killed.
Yeah.
After he had shot it.
Okay.
So
and he thought it was dead.
Yeah, a 66-year-old man.
Ooh.
So it seems believable that you would
I
get taken
propped my
out.
gun on a rock because it's heavy.
It's one of those revolutionary ones.
He was
you
wearing.
just have to-
Actually, I got this hat from him. Pulled it off of his dead body. Found him in a truck full of 39 Chinamen.
It was a
and
musket.
one 66-year-old man.
Yeah, a musket.
It's a
so
musket ball.
You only got one shot.
Yep.
There is no
I
reloading.
saw him stuffing it in. He was like,
Yeah, and then he walked over to the deer and was like, "I hope I got it."
Yeah.
And well, supposedly he did get
like
it.
a big trumpet.
Yeah, and,
shot like a big trumpet. The musket ball ricocheted, killed him. I got his hat.
So supposedly he did get it, but then he walked over, I guess, to confirm the kill.
Yeah.
And the deer started going crazy on him, started
Like
fighting.
that the deer played possum till he got him over there. Like, I'm gonna reel him in.
Yeah,
and I'll
right?
fucking stab him to death with my sharp horns.
It's,
How sharp are his fucking horns, by the way?
It has to be, yeah.
Gored him. Like, what the fuck?
to
It sounds
kill-
like that's a
kill
verb you
anybody.
put with a bull.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, gored.
Yeah.
Gored.
Oh, yeah.
Is associated with bulls and maybe moosin.
And deers.
Is moosin? That's how you say it, right? Mises.
I'm a moosing the fuck out of you.
Let me moosen up my belt real quick.
Yeah.
No, but
And then I
moose,
think
like,
for-
because they're big, heavy animals. How
Well-
big was this deer?
Okay, but like for bulls, is it horns?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bulls
so
have
for
horns.
deers, I think it's antlers.
Yeah, deers have antlers. Yeah, I call them
What's
horns.
the
but it's-
difference? Was that-
I honestly, I feel like horns are just like the two things, just like two straight horns, and
Right.
antlers are like ornate and have all those branches,
Yeah.
so you can decorate them for
And
Christmas.
then the elephants have tusks.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is-
that's it. Wow.
This is
man,
getting crazy.
Man, what is? Yeah.
Why use all these different words for all of that? I just feel like you're confusing everybody
It's,
for no reason.
It's essentially it's bone. It's just extended
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
It's head bone.
Okay,
it comes
so
out of your nose
call
or
it-
your fucking head.
Call it the animal's extendo bone.
Extendo.
And then-
Whoa. Nope. That's how they procreate, sir.
Don't look that up on Pornhub.
Extendo bone.
Oh.
Yo, please do. Let us
Yeah.
know what you come up with.
Ron Jeremy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then it gets a little graphic here in terms of the nephew, a relative of his found him. He was still alive and talking. He was able to call his wife in for help, and then
So
they
I'm
when
dying,
help,
honey. I love you.
and then when help
the
arrived,
plane's going down,
he
but
wasn't
there's no
breathing.
plane, and the plane is a deer,
Ooh.
and it stabbed me with his antlers that are decorated for Christmas, which I thought was too early myself, but I'm dead.
I still think you do an old man voice way too well, way too
Do I-
well.
It comes naturally.
Yeah. Okay, so you do you have?
Did you hear?
Yeah.
I killed it. I thought I killed a deer. Killed me.
I thought I killed a pussycat.
I thought I murdered a deer. What? Anyway, did
Go,
you hear?
go.
Now this is the weirdest name in history. I think Obdulia Sanchez was convicted in 2017
It's a
of
fun name.
vehicular manslaughter. John, we were actually talking about this story recently. She was intoxicated and driving her 14-year-old sister around.
Oh.
And taking she was live streaming, specifically on the app live stream.
Yeah.
And
This
she
is
was
this
live
girl.
streaming, like dancing and shit while she was like driving, and she's taking this video, and then she wrecks the car, which causes her 14-year-old daughter or 14-year-old little sister to be thrown from the car. And then she, like, after the wreck, she gets out of the car, goes over to her sister laid out on the ground, who's still alive and like in the process of dying.
Yeah.
And she puts her face and images
That was crazy.
on the fucking live stream.
And she's like, I
on Live
didn't
Leak.
mean for this to happen, bro. Like it
And
just
she even
did.
says in the video, what'd she say? I just killed my baby sister. I'm going away for life. Like she knew. She knew she was going down.
So the story now is that somebody killed her in prison.
She was sentenced to 6 years for vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. She did 2 of those. She was released in September, just a month ago. In the last couple days, she was pulled over for running a stop sign. She didn't stop. Made the police do a long drawn out police chase. She wrecked out and they finally got her. She was intoxicated again. She had a gun in the car. She's obviously a felon.
What
Can't
the
have a
fuck?
gun.
You
yeah.
idiot.
Freshly out of jail. She's right back in court.
I
and
called
she's
you
gonna,
a fucking idiot. No, she's a fucking
Thank you. Yes, I
idiot.
have not vehicular manslaughter
There's levels
anyone,
to this
so
shit.
I'm not that idiot.
Wow.
But she's right back doing up to her old antics. Thank God
How-
nobody was injured in this one.
I don't know how
And
she
she's
got
back
out.
in court, like literally over the last couple days. Abdulia Sanchez, you can look her up. We'll post a picture of her. She gained a tattoo while in jail. She got a big tattoo on her neck of her dead sister's name and lips, like her sister's kissing her neck. I was like, that's a weird thing. Also, the lips are huge. It's as if her sister was a giant. This is way out of scale.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not what we should be focusing on
There's
here,
not
guys, but it was not good.
Lip to person ratio.
Lip to actual reality ratio is no bueno,
Jesus,
guys.
wow, I don't even know how she got out. Like that it kind of blew my mind when you were first starting the story.
Yeah, I told you that, and you were like, "How is she out?" She served 2 years out of 6, and she's free.
Man, that's insane. Okay, you
got another one?
Yeah, we got like a few more minutes, so let's do it. A minister's treehouse. That's what it's called. The minister's treehouse. Sorry, it's in Tennessee and is the world's largest treehouse. It's 100 feet tall in and around, I believe, and it uses like 7 trees. But it burned to the ground.
Wow, was it one of those on like the Treehouse TV show on HGTV?
I think so.
Was it? I was just guessing because those things are fucking immaculate.
Yeah,
huge.
and like the photos that they have are like they're way too nice, or like they're kind of it looks like they were used in a documentary or something. But here's one of the photos here. Look at that treehouse.
Oh,
And
that's badass. It's like holy shit! It's like 10 stories or something.
Yeah, it's stories.
Not really, but it's like a bunch of stories.
Well, if you think about it, those trees are huge, and if you're using 7 different trees,
damn, that's badass. We got to share that.
Oh,
that's a cool photo.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly how it caught fire. It says the investigation into the cause of the fire is ongoing. But
first guess, lightning.
Yeah.
Your house is in a tree.
So here it is, 100 feet tall and 10 stories.
10 stories. I was
10
guessing.
stories using 7 trees.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell! I would
and
have
it's
loved
all
to
burned to the ground.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Man, can you have insurance on a treehouse? And did they? Is that an act of God? Is it arson?
Yeah.
Where do you start? The base floor in the middle and let it burn out?
I feel like you could just get like an
know what you do
Amish
there.
village together and just rebuild the treehouse.
Raise a barn, eh?
Just rebuild the treehouse.
Just raise a treehouse.
Fucking get some wood and do another 7 stories. Hopefully the trees are still there, because that's one thing. If they're probably burned quite a bit, but so you would have to move over a little bit and use 7 different trees.
Oh yeah.
But it's still possible.
I hope. Yeah.
Maybe
luckily there's another cluster.
Hell.
And they have a giant pile of lumber ready to go, and builders on dial.
If this is the world's tallest or biggest treehouse, incentive to break the record. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like that.
There you go. Somebody call Guinness.
Yes.
And not the ones on John's shirt.
Yeah, somebody call Guinness and not my shirt.
You know, those are the same people.
Sponsored by Bud Light.
Guinness, the beer people, and Guinness, the world record people, same people.
Are you serious?
I promise.
You know what I just found out
So
today
weird.
too? I don't know how. Blockbuster, the owner of Blockbuster is the same owner of Netflix.
No,
I didn't know that.
No, what a
Yes.
genius! But he
I
fucked
know.
himself, kind of.
He
I mean,
did,
at least
right?
he had a parachute. He had an option out, and he's doing way better now.
His dick's big enough to get around to his own
I feel
ass.
like the overhead. Yeah. It's a snake eating its own tail scenario. Your dick's eating your own asshole.
Yep.
And the asshole won. That's fine. It makes more money. It makes more money that way. Anywho,
We have.
did you hear,
have
John?
One more?
Yeah. A friend of mine at work is trying to join the Marines. He's very serious and hardcore about it. He wants infantry, like bad.
Okay.
He's disappointed, though. His recruiter only offered him a position doing water purification. He was really upset at work. I tried to look on the bright side. I told him, oh, well, it's still the Marines. H2, oh, rah. Semper Fi. And all that other.
You gotta hit H2.
Oh, rah. H2, oh, rah.
I like that.
I gotta get the punchline right. But
yeah.
that's the gist of it, guys.
So we're about to get
Which
out
brings
of here.
us to this week's word, which was water.
It was water?
It was water.
Ooh,
As I worked with the water boys and we had the house on the waterfront, felt like water was a good one.
Yeah, the lake on the
What does John never drink?
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Water.
I work in the sun all day. I drink sugar-filled Gatorade.
Yeah, it's delicious. And this has...
And full of sugar.
And ways to get a hold of us is Facebook or Instagram.com/funny2informing, funny2informing@gmail.com. We're trying to work on really pushing the merchandise a little bit more, and we would appreciate if you buy a shirt or hat, but let us know
People have been
how you do
interested
that.
in the hats,
We'll try
and
to-
we're gonna work out some new shirts and stuff coming soon too.
We're trying to figure out some Patreon content, some
Yep.
extra special shit for everyone, and we want to hopefully we get some great sponsors here down the road, and I know
even shitty ones, we'll take them.
I know, yeah, and, yeah.
We'll take them now, and then we'll weed them out when we get good ones.
Oh yeah, come
so,
on.
Shitty companies, hit us up.
And we have some amazing guests that you guys are definitely not going to be able to wait to listen to, but you're going to have to.
But you're going to have to.
It's going to be a lot of.
We don't have 20 in the can like that show we talked to, but they are backing up. So.
Yeah. And this has been Funny to Informing, episode 113, FTI Live 11.
111.
I wanted to
11,
I wanted to
11.
say it again before we left so that I knew I could say it right.
Thank you. So see, I was right and wrong at the intro. I said whatever I said, 113, and you were like 11, and I was like, whatever, dude. It's too
when we were on the
confusing.
phone,
yeah, I don't know.
Either way,
who cares? It's
all
the show you're
confusing.
listening to. Thank you for listening to it.
I asked them what the good, the bad, the sequel, what number we were going to be on for their show. They're like, I have no fucking idea.
They got 20 in the can. They have no clue.
In the podcast world, the timeline, nobody ever knows. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoy listening as much as we enjoy chatting and shooting this shit. I've been John. That's Chris Pizza Beisenberg Coleman. And
tip your pizza maker. Talk to you next week.
Forgot to say laugh with us or at us.
Ooh, jinx. I don't know.
Grus The Notebook.
Welcome.
I want like horns playing.
So he wants to. He's like, yeah. So shoot for about 8:10.
Yeah, we can. Oh shit! I'll call them in the car on the way back to Eddie Deason.